Hello, welcome everybody. We are so excited. We're coming at you live here inside of our amazing free community. Ooh, there we go. Ryan and Blair Critch with Marriage Movement. We're so glad you guys are a part of this community in here. And we're also live on Instagram right now. And we are so excited to be coming to you. We usually do a Monday night live. We've been trying to hop back in here again and get active with you guys. We love this community so much. So first and foremost, thank you for being a part of it. If you're watching us on Instagram, come and join us in our free community. There are amazing people in here and we want you to be a part of it. So if you're curious about what the link to that is, feel free to message me and I will give it to you. And you could also just search in Facebook for Marriage Movement. It's a Facebook group and you'll find us there. So why are we hopping on this morning instead of in the evening, right? Because we are talking about our 7-day challenge. So if you are part of our community, you know that last month we did a Better Together challenge. It was for your marriage, a connection. This month we're doing a morning challenge and we'll talk about why in just a second. And we're making them only 7 days because like you can do anything for 7 days.
Anything for 7
right?
days. We hope that it continues.
Yes.
But
and then actually next month, so you know what's coming up ahead, next month is October, and so we're doing I think next month is the Intimacy Challenge.
Sweet.
Yep, good
My
one.
favorite.
Make sure you join and get your husband to join too.
My favorite.
Your spouse. And then also November is going to be Gratitude Challenge. It's perfect timing for that. And then December, we're going to be doing a Conversation Starter Challenge at the beginning of December. And I really like that one because the holidays get busy, they get crazy, and what happens? There becomes like a wedge between your relationships,
Absolutely.
right? Because you're stressed and busy. So this week begins our 7-day morning routine challenge. And the reason I created this with Ryan and that we decided to do this is because we just launched a journal, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But more importantly, because it has been impactful for us. And so I'm going to have Ryan share in just a second about why it's been impactful for us in our marriage. And then when we brought it to our children as well. But we thought, how can we help everybody get started in a morning routine, right? Because to immediately go from not doing one to being, an hour morning routine or whatever is a very intimidating. And when we first started, we did little steps. It's one of the things I loved about Hal Elrod's book, Miracle Morning, is he kind of was like, okay, take little steps. So I kind of broke down those steps in very mini form. So today is day 1 of our 7-day challenge. Today is just about getting up 15 minutes earlier and putting your alarm clock across your room. Why?
Huge step.
Yeah,
people.
why is that important?
You cannot reach the snooze button because you'll hit it. So make it as difficult as possible. If you're a serial snoozer, put the alarm in a different room. Put it in the bathroom. Brush your teeth and then hit it. Whatever it is. But it cannot be next to you.
Yep.
You will hit it.
I love that you said that. That's so true. So that is today's challenge. That's it. So simply go into our group, our community. If you're already in here, then all you have to do is post underneath day 1 and say, I moved it, or show a picture of moving it, or whatever. And
huge step.
It is. It's a really
Simple,
big step.
But huge. Psychologically,
Totally
it'll just help you. I'm going to get up and stay up.
So babe, why don't you we're going to literally walk you guys through how we do our morning routine. But before we even do that, I think it's really important to talk about why. Why did we start this 8 years ago, just between the two of us? And then about 7 years ago, started with our boys who are now 18 and 16.
Okay, so the reason why initially was every success book, starting with the Bible and moving all through every self-help, self-development, productivity person, everyone says get up in the morning, right? CEOs up by 5 a.m., actors, Marky Mark gets up at 3:30, goes works out so he can be done and available by 7:30 when his family wakes up. Like, it is just a common theme, and really that's what we're after, is success leaves clues. So if we want to be successful, let's use OPE, other people's experiences. What do they do? What do their days look like? The first step was we needed to stop snoozing in the morning and get up at a certain time.
Yep. And when we began this 8 years ago and we decided to do this, it was because we were both really launching new businesses. Ryan had just really gotten his real estate business up and running, and I had just started with my current business, Lavelle, and we both had these really big goals.
Huge
and we're
goals.
like, how can we get to them but still make our family a priority? Because in our lives, it's God, family, business, and then all the fun stuff that we want to do, right? So it's really important to us that we have that quality time with our family. And so how could we do it in a way that still allowed us to have that time, that we weren't workaholics, but that we were still having, 7-figure success, because that's what we both both really wanted.
Right. So we set a goal. We knew what we wanted our life to look like. Flexible job schedules, making a just absolutely crushing it, making a ton of money. And one thing about being an entrepreneur is there's always something to do, especially if you're trying to launch your business. So if you're working on your business, we just wanted to be working on our business. And if we were with family, we just wanted to make sure we were with family. So we were present in both places. And so it took a little bit of trial and error. We just knew that we wanted to have, a family dinner together. But sometimes that doesn't work. So we're like, how can we do this? How can we make sure that we get our family time every single day and start the day with God, family, and in gratitude?
Love it. So that was really how we started our morning routine. And so this 7-day challenge this week, we're going to walk you through step by step, some small little things. Like I said, they are simple, but you have to take action on them. And then that really created our morning routine. And then our morning routine was so successful for the two of us that we decided, like Ryan said, this would be a great thing to do every single morning. We already do a devotion as a family every morning. So why not implement these things that are going to help our kids not only to feel and see what they're thinking about, and you'll see what I mean in a minute, to hear their heart, but also to have that quality time, and that we're teaching them skills that they can take, habits that they can take into their life for the rest of their life, right? And that's going to show up differently than other people and put them in that 1 or 5%. Right?
Absolutely. And Ed Milet, one of his favorite sayings that I love is for kids, things are caught, not taught. Meaning you can say whatever you want to your kids till you're blue in the face, but if your action, they're looking at your actions. They're looking at what you're doing, and that's how they're learning, and that's how their personalities are forming. So
true. And I see, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I see a bunch of you guys hopping on Instagram. We're so glad you guys are on there. Make sure you join us in our free community on Facebook. You could go to the search bar on Facebook and put in Marriage Movement and find it, and we will definitely accept you and add you in. So this week, 7-day challenge. We're hoping you guys get part of it. Some people are going to be winning our journals. Let's kind of walk them through. Now, first, we created 2 journals. They're the exact same pretty much thing, but one is for families, and it's like weird. One is for families, and this one is more for if maybe you don't have any kids at home anymore, or you're not married.
Or have really young kids.
Right? And you don't want to do it like as the family. We wanted to make sure that this was available for any entrepreneur or any business owner or any career person, whatever. Whoever you are, this works for you.
Whoever wants to have success.
So, yeah, this is actually a really great gift to give on your team, to organizations. And by the way, if you are part of a business and you want Ryan and I to come in and coach or teach on morning routines, on like we have statistics and all kinds of information, we would love to do that. And then we can offer the book to people in the group as well. But this is the one that we're really focusing on this week here inside of this group, because this is a marriage group, right? So these are people, you guys are probably married, or maybe you're about to get married. And so this group is really for you, and you can do it as a family or as a couple. And so this is the one we're really going to walk through right now. So Ryan, why did we decide to create this book?
So in 2014, when we started doing the journals, we just used like regular spiral notebooks, and we were going through it, and it was 5 gratitudes and 5 prayer requests and intentions, and, go back and circle answered prayers. And, we just kind of shared the success that we were having over the years. And, as we're talking to younger families that have young kids, we just mentioned what we do, and everybody just kept asking, what do you do? What's it like? How do you get everybody to the table at 7 a.m.? I have teenagers. How does that, they just roll out of bed and want to go. So we just decided that, hey, why not put it in this cool, simple, great-looking journal, very easy to follow. I gave examples what each thing means, so you don't have to worry about how to use it. There's no wrong way to use it. So we have families that use it in the morning, we have families that use it at night, but the main part of it is to get people together and get in the habit of writing down your thoughts.
Yeah, and I love it because what you'll really see is your family's heart, right? Like when Ryan writes down the things, and we're going to go through these pages, that he is wanting, desiring, right? And we call them prayer requests because we are a family of faith. But if you're not, they're basically your desires, right? What you're wanting to happen. And so, that's part of it. So I get to hear like what's really on Ryan's heart, Jeremiah's heart, Noah's heart. And then also the gratitude. I get to really see what is really going on in their life and what they're really grateful for. And then we have an intention every day, and we have somebody that we're going to try to lift up through a kind note, encourage, text, whatever. So I do want us to kind of read through, and this is going to be a little bit longer than usual live, because I really do want you guys to hear. And you guys can get this book on Amazon. All you have to do is put in the search bar "See You at the Table," or you could go to seeyouattetable.journal.com. seeyouattetable.journal.com, and it'll take you straight to the Amazon link. And there, basically, here's how to get started, right? So one of the things that we wrote is, no matter what happens throughout the day, we've accomplished 2 family goals: time together as a family and time together with the Lord. What have our children learned? They've learned responsibility, punctuality, importance of a morning routine, gratitude, power of prayer, God answers prayers, power of setting intentions, etc. You want to read that part, babe?
So research has shown that having a morning routine helps reduce stress, helps with memory, helps with depression, supports good habits, helps with organization, helps achieve personal goals, and when you win the morning, you win the day.
Yep.
So can I touch on that? So win the morning, win the day. If any of you guys are like me, if I don't wake up and do my routine, some sort of breath work or just something to get me going, then the whole day gets started on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking back. Oh, I hit the snooze button. Oh, I didn't get awake. Whatever that is. So set up a simple routine, like Blair said, one thing each day that you can do, and you'll just ease your way into it.
So true. And then Ryan, so we're just basically reading like the beginning of this journal, and I love this part that you added into the introduction. Will you share this with everybody?
I don't
right here.
remember it. Okay. Oh, we challenge you to ask your kids, what type of family do you want? So this is one of my favorite things. I think it was 2016, so that's 6 years ago. So our boys were 12 and 10 when I asked this question. What type of family do you want? And I asked each kid. So the question was posed to each family member. What type of family do you want? Jeremiah, who's now 18, he was 12 at the time, he said a happy family. Noah said he wants a family that has fun. Blair said a family that doesn't argue. And Ryan said a family that has intentional, scheduled quality time together. Okay, so we wrote those 6 years ago. And the coolest thing is now looking back, we have, guess what? We have a happy family. We have a family that doesn't argue. We are a family that has fun. We have so much fun.
I feel like you're gonna cry.
I know, I am.
I feel it.
I'm thinking about all of the incredible things, but it all started here. We wrote it down. A family that has intentional quality time together. People, it is diligent. It's important to me. I am a schedule tyrant, let's say, because I will make sure that I get 1 hour with Blair, Jeremiah, and Noah. No excuses, because that was the goal. So that was awesome, babe.
So another thing that we have on the inside of this journal is how to use the journal. So we're going to literally walk you guys through it, because it shows you how we do our morning routine as well. So first, set up the time that you're planning to meet at the table. And like we said, some of our friends are using it in the evening because the morning doesn't work for them.
So just set a time. Set a time. So ours is 7 a.m. It was see you at the table at 7 a.m. No matter where you are, what you're doing, what time you wake up, doesn't matter. We were at the table by 7 a.m.
And one of the things also that you guys can do, and that a couple of my friends actually this weekend that I was with at a retreat are doing, is they're all writing in their journals on their own as a family in the morning, but then they're talking about it at the dinner table.
Love
because
that.
They do have dinner together. We, with our boys' sports schedules and life, like, we might eat with our kids, but we're eating with them individually as they come home. So
That's
however
a
that works,
fantastic idea.
right? I thought it was
love
so great.
Yeah.
Second tip for using this journal is everyone needs their own journal to write in. A lot of people have asked me about that. They are $19.99 on Amazon, but you guys, it goes for a long time. I think it's like 45 days worth. So I highly recommend that you have everybody in your home get their own journal. If you need help with that, you're like, hey, we can't afford to get all 4, reach out to us.
Please.
We can help you. We can give you a special discount, whatever you need.
Sponsorship,
we want to make
whatever.
sure we help everyone to get their own journal. And then that's really important too. And then making sure that you're part of our group. So, making sure you're part of this community, because it's a great place to come in and say, hey, we've been doing it now for a week. This is what's been working for us. Or, hey, I've got a question about this. Or my kids reacted this way. Or my spouse reacted that way.
So I do want to touch on that, right? So groups of people will do one of two things. They'll either bring you down or they'll elevate you. right? So we want to surround ourselves with people that are all trying to do the same thing. They love their marriage. They love their kids. They love their family. They're trying to do everything in this crazy world. Make money, eliminate the distractions, and not wake up one morning looking back when your kids are 18 and 16. Nobody's home on a Saturday afternoon. And you're like, where did all the time go?
Yeah.
Why didn't I do this? Well, if we start now and we write down exactly what we want our life to be, what we want to have, what we want to record, and we're all doing it together, then we can learn and grow faster.
Love that. So next step number 4, get started. It's that easy, right? Step number 5, we love to keep our journals. Do you want to share why?
Well, I mean, I love keeping them. Number 1, answered prayers, right? Do you have anxiety? Do you worry about the future? How much time are you wasting each day about what possibly might happen? So the reason for me to eliminate that is that if I write down my prayer requests and then I go back and flip through a couple weeks ago, a month, or even a year, one of my favorite and easiest is I always pray for the houses that I have for sale. So I write down the addresses every single morning, praying for those houses to sell. Because guess what? Then I'm doing everything I can. They're top of mind. And then guess what I can do? I can go back and I can be like, oh my gosh, I thought that would never happen, but it did. Oh my goodness, I was praying for this, but I am so glad that didn't happen. That would have been terrible. So is that an unanswered prayer or an answered?
Well,
Both.
for you, right?
Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Yes.
See
yes.
what I did
I love
there,
that
man?
unanswered
See what I did
prayers.
there?
The song by
All
Garth Brooks, my favorite. Okay. And it does create priceless memories because when they are gone, which for us is very soon,
soon.
you'll be able to really be able to enjoy that. So the next one is setting up how that 10 to 15 minutes will be spent. So here's how ours goes. We meet at the table at 7 a.m., usually with our morning smoothie, morning shake, because we take our Thrive shakes. Then we sit down and we write in our journal. We write 5 gratitudes, 5 prayer requests, an intention for the day, and we try to pick one person that we are going to send a kind or encouraging message to.
So the first 5 minutes is silence, basically. We're all writing. That way, nobody has any homework or anything. You just show up, you get to the table, makes it simple for everybody. Sit down and then write.
Yep. And then after we write, what do we do next?
Then we read. We can read a devotional. You can read anything inspirational. Basically, it's just something very short to get your mind headed in the direction that you want. We choose the Bible or devotion, but anything will work.
Yep, absolutely. Then we go around the table and share our 5 gratitudes, 5 prayer requests, intention for the day, and who we are going to help. And this is one of our favorite things.
But yeah, before we get to the encouragement, just about the gratitude, one thing that we did add that Blair added this year was because. So when we first started, we just said, okay, write down things you're thankful for. And it was all one word answers, no emotion, no feeling. So then this year and in the journal, we wrote, I am grateful for Blair because she's an amazing wife and takes care of everything around the house.
Thanks,
So,
Dave.
you're welcome. So you just, say what you're grateful for and then just write down a short, I'm grateful for because.
Yeah, and depending on your kids' ages, obviously if they're very young, they could write Xbox, but then you could ask them because. Why? And as they start to get used to it. And I really love that because now our kids are older and they can recognize the because. So like when Noah, for example, will say he has said Xbox before, and then now that we can say because it allows me time to play with my brother, or it gives me something to do with my friends, right? Yeah. Whatever that is. So it's really cool, and you really get to see their heart. And then we all go around and we pray together. So for you, maybe that's not prayer, but if it is part of your routine in your family life, that's what we do. And then off we go, right?
That's it.
Yep. And then what you'll see at the end of each week inside of this book that's really cool is a weekly review. And it kind of gives you time if you want to do it, great. And it gives you time and it says, look back and circle answered prayers and desires that happened this week. So this might be a great routine to do with your kids on Sundays maybe. It says, are there any unanswered prayers or desires that did not come true but worked out for my best interest? Who did I encourage this week? Who received this week's sharing is caring tear out? I'll explain that in a second. How did they respond? This week I crushed blank. Next week I will improve blank. I mean, even if you don't write them down, but you discuss them as a family, that's amazing.
Or just discuss it, look at it. I mean, you can improve what you don't track, right? So if I track things, then there's room for improvement, right? So at least this is just getting a written record of what your week was like, what your thoughts are, just trying to, get a document everything.
Yeah. And then at the end of each week, there's a tear out page where you can use that to write a note to somebody, to send it, or maybe even record something really special from the week.
Everybody loves to get something in the mail that's not a bill or an advertisement.
Yep.
A thinking of you note. I think it goes farther today than it did back in the day, right? Because it's so rare.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
So, and then also we encourage you to share this with others, right? What a great opportunity. And I know that I was sharing this with some of my teammates this weekend. I gifted them the journal, and they loved the example page too, where Ryan did an example of one of his
Because guys
days.
love details.
Yep.
And what do I need to do?
Yep.
That's
so
right.
that was a really great spot as well. So we encourage you guys to get the journal. It was a love project from us to you guys, just sharing what works for us, and we hope it works for you. We'd love to get your feedback and hear from you. But most importantly, do the 7-day challenge.
the
Why
challenge.
not? Join us over the
Fun.
next 7 days and be part of the morning routine challenge. So if you have any questions, drop them below. If you're in, let us know by dropping below. And we hope you have a great day and make it a great day for others.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Will you hit end on Instagram?